Well, hey guys, welcome to the studio. Today, we've been chasing the subscription nightmare that Waves has started for their plugins. And who better to talk to than Brandon S. Heyer from Heyer Media? He runs the YouTube channel Free Plugin Fridays. And if anybody knows how to best start replacing these Waves plugins with free ones, it's Brandon. Let's get to it.
I've been a Waves user since 2014 when I got my first Waves plugin as a freebie. It was RBase back in 2014. They gave it out for Black Friday, I believe. And I've been a Waves user pretty heavily since then. There's still some things in my template that I use from them. So I'm going to have to make a value proposition. Is it going to be worth spending the $25 a month to be able to continue using those, or am I going to have to find something else? And I don't know what that's going to be yet. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that because, I mean, these specific plugins I've tried to replace before, things like the Abbey Road reverb plate on snare. I haven't found something that gives me that low mid, like smack out of a snare reverb like that one does. And I keep going back to it. So, things like that. Am I going to be able to get the results that I want using other things? And if so, awesome. If not, then I'll have to, pay up the money for it. I feel like a lot of people are upset about, rightly so, about the amount of money that they've invested in the ecosystem and then being kind of left to fend for themselves. I get that. I get that. I feel like, there's a lot of things that could be said about what Waves has done. I see all sides and I'm kind of neutral on all of it. We can be salty about that all we want to, but now that's gone. Now that's it. Now that's ancient history. So right now we're talking about the subscription model, which I happen to love the idea of the subscription model as long as there's a path to ownership for people who might want it.
Okay, let's get started with number one, vocal pitch correction. The Waves Tune RT is what I use. It's also what Brandon uses in his studio.
Waves Tune Real Time is a really, really good processor, and I have been using that one for a while now. It's less and less in my workflow, but I do know it is very powerful. So I can see that one being missed. I can say that M Auto Pitch from Melda Production in the M Free Effects bundle is a vocal tuning plugin that does have similar kind of controls and parameters, allowing you to adjust this. I'm looking at the GUI right now, the speed and the depth of the pitch correction, how much it's, what notes are going, what scales, etc. A lot of the same features. Right. And it's part of the M Free Effects bundle from Melda Production. So, that might be a good alternative for somebody who's looking for that. This one's awesome stuff. Valhalla makes some really good stuff. One of my oldest free plugins that I've been using since I first started getting into third-party plugins was their Frequency Echo plugin. And so that one is going to be just completely dwarfed by Supermassive because there's so much going on inside of that plugin, and it's all free. So you got reverbs, you've got modulation, filtering, you've got delay in there as well. That's going to cover a lot of the ground that you are going to be missing, and it's from a developer who has a very, very solid brand reputation. In terms of limiter from Kilohertz, I feel like this would be a good like L1, L2 kind of a replacement. Gotcha. It may not have this. It may not have the same like you push a button and drag down and everything kind of adjusts in uniform kind of a workflow, but there are ways around that because I mean this is a decent sounding limiter that does what it says on the box. You turn the threshold down, it turns into a brick wall limiter. It's a limiter.
And let's talk channel strips. Brandon recommends Mixbox. And I got to tell you, this is some really, really intensely cool looking stuff. It seems to have everything that you would want to use to put into a rack, and it sounds phenomenal. So I want to thank Brandon for spending some time with us on a Zoom call, guiding us through his favorite effects that are all free, that you can kind of build a portfolio that starts emulating what you've been doing with your Waves account at zero cost. Please don't forget to go over to his channel and click subscribe. And also, if you feel like it, click subscribe on this channel as well. We're about to hit 1,000 subscribers. It could be you. Well, we got a lot of work to do. Let's get to it.